Alright, so now, unlike Mudkip, I'm moving on to a different run. This is a hack of Super Metroid. It's called Super Metroid Limits. The category I'm doing is GT Classic because 90%'s too hard. I'll get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So yeah, it starts out like every other...
It'll be a little bit over.
So this game starts out like most Metroid games do. Put you in Ceres Station, and yeah, it's a good time.
Close.
You'll notice there's one block up there that's different for the rest of this map so far. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna mute you, or I'm gonna deafen, so don't worry about it.
okay. That's fine. Alright. So we found Ridley. Alright. So now we're on our way out. And of course, gives you a bit of a surprise. Yeah, I gotta die first. Alright, so now we're dead. That's great. So, yeah. We go up here. And, yeah, that's the end of that. Alright, so now we're on Zebes, or Zebes, whichever you prefer. So yeah, now, this is where things start to look a lot different now. Big difference is starting here. So you can see things are very largely different from... So we start at the wrecked ship, I guess. Your guess is as good as mine as to why we're here first. Yeah, it's just a thing. So now we're just gonna leave the wreck ship. We don't need to be here yet. We'll come back here at some point, but first we gotta go down. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about one thing. So we gotta go down here first. I forgot. We can't go all the way up yet. Alright, cool. So, to get to the first major weapon, missiles, you know what, we're gonna go up the normal way. Okay, that took me a while. We got it. Alright, so now we got missiles. Now that we're done with that, it took me a bit too long. So we're gonna head our way up. Oh, that's right. I forgot one thing. I had to go to get the morph ball. There's a bit of backtracking that goes on in the beginning, but it's going to be nothing compared to a lot of the backtracking we're going to have to do in later sectors. So, you just get used to doing a lot of that. Didn't quite get that at first. Sort through that. Forget so often, like... There we go, we got the morph ball now. So everything is soon going to come to life now, but we need to get bombs first for that sort of thing to happen. Now that we're down here, we're going to go down this way. Now we're out of here. We got to collect a couple more items in this small area of criteria. So, we'll do that. Okay, so a couple things you'll notice that are going to be slightly different is they're going to be a bit of a funny little guy to take a bit of a walk. So yeah, this is a fake statue. We have to... So yeah, the real statue room is actually going to be right here. Nice little plot twist, isn't it? Alright, so now we got this. Bombs, and the classic little bomb chorizo fight. Good. That means we will get primarily missiles. Beautiful. Alright, we're on our way out. So that's done with. We gotta make sure to destroy that guy, otherwise we're gonna be stuck here for a while.
I'm done with that garbage game.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Good job, man.
Yeah, literally the last boss is remember where the safe parts are. That's it. Oh.
You did what I couldn't, so you gotta give yourself a big pat on the
Yeah,
back.
that's the name of the person. Spolo you. I don't understand. This game's weird.
Either way, I'm playing through a difficult Super Metroid hack, so you've joined just in time.
I just wanted the undefinite to tell you that I finally beat this garbage game.
Good job, man. Congratulations. You won, but was it worth it?
You wanna know what? I played the game. To be honest, this game wasn't awful except for
the last level, and yeah. I think the last boss and the boss.
Okay, I guess that could be true.
Okay.
Yeah, the last two bosses are rough.
I think the last level, the last two bosses, I don't know. You did what I couldn't do anyways, so.
Yeah, it's 87% IGN. Like, I can see it. It's not that bad of a game. It's just the final boss is ridiculous.
It is.
The boss before it is kind of ridiculous too. Granted, you can figure out it. Basically, it's like figure out their patterns and deal with them pretty easily. It's really all the game comes down to.
All right, so my work.
But yeah, I can see this game being decent. The Dracula fight is very I'm very saddened by the fact that the developers decided that's supposed to Dracula fight. But it wasn't bad. The platforming was actually pretty forgiving, I would think, for like a Castlevania game, that is.
Indeed, considering it's not a Castlevania NES.
Hey, the staff. Let's see who made this garbage game. But not actually though. Where's the giant skeleton dragon fight in the middle of the desert? True.
That was a good question, man.
Well, that's actually the final boss to Castlevania 64.
Ah, yes, my favorite.
I didn't get the full immersion of that boss because I first tried it. Because I literally stood in his hitbox and just hit him a crap ton of times.
Oh, so, well, that's quite the thing.
I got really lucky. Because he couldn't hit me with his attacks, and only one of the attacks actually hit me, and I had no health. So I'm like, I guess I'm doing this.
Alright. So now we've saved. It's time to go to Upper Brinstar, which is literally Upper Brinstar. No pun intended there.
So I think I'm gonna stop streaming because I'm not tired, but I don't know. I'm not playing anything else. That's basically what I'm saying. I'll send you guys over the class.
That's fair.
Well, both you guys are there already, but I'm sending other peeps. Start the raid.
Oh dear.
And thank you guys for coming by and watching this. This was a game and a half.
It was. It very much so was. Alright, time raid incoming.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. A raid of, I believe. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's probably just shade, to be honest. But
I figured that much. It was a raid of 1.
Nice.
All right, so we're here now. Upper Brinstar is not terribly difficult to find. If you guys want to go to Uncle Slam, he just went live right now.
Oh. What is he doing? Oh, he's doing the tourist?
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
appears to be the case.
I'll watch you for a little bit at least. Maybe I'll go check out the tourist. I haven't seen him. I don't even know this game, to be honest.
He has a world record by a long stretch. For that much, I know.
Oh. Oh. Well.
Oh dear, I got stuck. Alright. Well, wall jump number 2.
Oh, that was weird. My followers list just died for no reason.
Interesting.
That was the weirdest thing ever. I've never seen that happen before on Twitch, where it's like it just doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I almost got it.
Oh, I think I know what you're doing. That's a hard trick.
There's more than just one of those. There we go. Got it. Takes a while. Believe me, there's a lot of climbing you have to do in this game. Some of it's really stupid. Oh, I forgot.
I'm gonna enjoy this Castlevania music forever. I deserve that much. Wow. They make you get hit like that was like a health check.
Oh, believe me, this is a challenge hack. It's an old challenge hack, one of the oldest Super Metroid hacks. It's from 2005. So it's 15 years old. And of course, another hidden missile. Gotta love those. We'll need quite a few of those because this the next boss that I'm going to come up against, or mini boss, we won't run into an actual boss for quite a while.
Yeah, this is gonna be my life for the next hour, listening to literally the ending song of this game.
Alright. Okay, I can get this. There we go. There's a reason I'm doing that. Oh. Oh. There we go.
Oh, you weren't gonna go for the spike wall jumps, dude?
No, absolutely not.
It's actually kind of funny that they even give that option to the player, going like, yeah, you can do this. It's just...
It's deadly.
Good luck.
We'll say that much. Believe me, if you think that was ridiculous, wait until the next set of spike walls you see. It's going to be a real blast, I'll say that much. We're coming up to the first major item check that we're going to need. Before we do that, we need some more energy, because mini bosses are scary.
Yo, can I get some energy, dude?
I don't know.
Some energy after the... What? I can't get any energy? Man.
Oh, okay. I'm missing this.
I'm not sure what you're trying to do, but I'll probably see it when you do it.
You'll find out. So you know, like hidden crevices.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Almost there.
Yo, we're watching the animals wall jumping. Let's go.
Unfortunately, there's no chance to save the animals. I don't even know where they are.
Oh, I think I know what you're trying to go for. That's a pretty hard jump.
Did you see that animal just enter that small crevice? Almost got it.
Yes. Well, I figured it out after like we got really close with the fourth ball.
This is not the major item I'm talking about, though. There we go. That was a bit of a journey. And yeah, you definitely need it. Why didn't... Okay. took me a while to press the bomb. I was just like morphing and unmorphing, and I was like, what is going on? There's a lot of wall jumping in this section. I like to call this the Brinstar climb. The blue Brinstar climb, to be exact. Alright, so... we got enough missiles for sure.
Okay, I think I'm gonna head off because I need to go to the bathroom and I want to eat some food.
Yep.
See you later.
Catch you later, man. Another hidden passageway there. And now we are getting to my favorite part of this. Okay, we're not going to get it that time. That's fine. We don't need to be there yet. So yeah, we need that first. And this is the introduction of a dual physics room. So the physics changes between water and not water. So now we got to get some carefully placed jumps. So now we are up here. Gonna make another jump. Alright. One. This room's a bit cruel. Don't always get to live through everything. Alright, cool. We're through that. This is the first major check, and I like to say it's the beginning of the challenge. Okay, I missed it. It's okay. It may take me a few attempts to get that. It's a tough jump. Alright. These jumps are a lot harder than they look. Okay. Gotta get up there. At least send me back there. This room has taken me a lot of time, many different ways, which is why I put a friendly 5-hour estimate. It's not just that, there was another major road check that I'll talk about a bit later. I'm taking the harder route. To up here. Or not. Ideally, I'd be out in 30 minutes or less. But that might not happen. If we're lucky. Barely missed it. Dang, that sucks. Can we get this man? Okay, we got that far. There's a lot of frustration with this room. It's all simply on the basis that this jump is quite the... There we go. Slightly under 30, which is good, because we can make up a lot of this time later down the road. So that's not the end of the challenge. The challenge continues here. Alright. One, two, three. So we're gonna have to do that a couple of times because I need another energy tank and it's located up there. One, two. One, two. One, two. One, two. One, two. All right. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, we're getting close. 1, 2. Alright, we're gonna have to do alternate strats. Oh, dang it, okay. I sometimes miss that. Alright, this may take a while. We take advantage of the invincibility cycle when we do this, which allows us to travel unfathomably high. 2. And we got quite a climb to go. We're not even close yet. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. There we go. That'll do her. There we go. So now our work here is over. And of course, because we don't want to lose all that time. Fine, we'll just do it that way. We're gonna go back to the ship and save. You might wonder why I would do something like that. Well, the reason primarily is just because, well... of course, for all that, we get a missile. A nice little missile pack. Alrighty. So now, with that all being done, we're gonna head on our way up. Alright. And now we are ready to face the next mini-boss. And we needed 3 energy tanks, not just for that, but yet another boss even after that, because there's going to be one that we are definitely not going to be able to collect for the time being. I didn't get any mock balls at that point, which is sad, but alright, so you may be wondering, what's the next weapon we're going to collect? And, of course, the next weapon we're going to need to get our hands on. There's such a high scarcity of save rooms. We need to save at the ship because it's going to be faster. So now we're heading into the next big room, which is this room. gonna take me all, isn't it? So yeah, you can see this ridiculous set of there we go. Alright, so now it's gonna be a fun time in this next room. So you just need to focus on staying alive. Alright. It's going to take a couple of shots in, and that's never easy to get. This sort of thing, it's a bit of a challenge. Alright. Closer to the end of this boss fight. It's going to take me a couple more hits to only get into fast phase. Spore spawn is usually a lot easier because you'll have more space to work with, but in this game they force the close confinement, and which is not cool, but it's one thing that you kind of have to deal with for what it's worth. It's one of the rare cases where you have to fight this. It's in every other hack I know of. That's not as much of a problem. Unless you're doing 100% and you don't know how to get that hidden block. Okay, so we're getting close. I feel like one or two more missiles will get us into that fast period. So far. There we go. This is a lot tougher. Got a few hits to work with. You can take 4 hits from the boss itself, and a couple of hits from those spores. And we don't even have to worry about it. So now that we're done with that boss, we can finally pick up our hands on the weapon we will need for the next boss, the grappling beam. And that's pretty nice. That's a nice place to be at right now. Alright, so now that our work is done here, let's go back down. Ah, there we go. There's the combo. So yeah, you can see there's a power bomb door. We'll have to go back there at some later point, but now's not the time. That's a shame. There we go. Now we're up. So our journey in Upper Brinstar will resume at some later point, but not at this moment. I'm gonna try something really brief. I kind of doubt it's gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a try. Just to see if it will. Yeah, I figured that much would not happen. It was worth a try. We got quite a bit of time to kill considering how many attempts it took me to handle this last boss. So I've been hinting at it for quite a while. We're going back to the wrecked ship because, unfortunately, we can't go much further without the help of a trusty little thing called the Varia suit. We'll need that later, and a couple of other major items. And they're all being blocked away by none other than Phantoon. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to save. And then Alright. Now begins our attempts against Phantoon. And it's going to take quite a bit of good luck, good fighting skills, and an ability to not be impacted by terrible stuff. Alright, so first off, getting to Phantoon is challenging enough. And unfortunately, so we gotta perfectly balance ourselves on these little, otherwise we fall all the way down here, and nothing fun about that. So that's our first miss. But fortunately, we're leading all the particles down there instead. Alright. Oh, you're kidding me, right? Okay. So we're gonna have one death so far. I was hoping not to have any deaths before Phantoon, but this room is difficult, so, you know, that's why we save. That's why we saved. Oh, that's right. Probably could disconnect. So we get this call to come over to us. This is probably the hardest set of jumps. Yep. There we go. Fortunately, I didn't take a single hint of damage, so... But that will change very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, unlike the original Phantoon fight, the stage is a lot further closed in. We're on an incline. Fortunately, we didn't take any damage so far, so that's really the vital part of this. It's going to be staying alive and not dying. Alright, so that's one round. You saw how much each of those do in terms of damage. Alright, so... we have to be aware of Phantoon himself. Phantoon's damage. We don't have any super missiles to lean on either. So whatever happens to us happens. We're not doing too hot right now. So we're gonna die, probably. Unless we get super lucky and get a bunch of drops. It's not likely. Health drops are very rare. I'm just waiting for it. We're just gonna hope that we can get the kill soon, if ever. Yeah. Go figure. Alright. One death to Phantoon, and you know what? We got awfully close, but I'm not even gonna complain. We've gotten much worse situations to be stuck under. And considering we're only at 2 deaths overall, I feel pretty good so far. That fight is basically the equivalent of what it's like in the original Super Metroid when taking the Phantoon, Ridley Dragon Kraid route. Or no, Kraid Dragon route. PRKD. That was stupid of me. Yeah. Okay, it's not over yet. There we go. No problems there. Okay. How did it linger that long? Sometimes the cycles in which the bosses stick around for can be just totally a crapshoot. Alright, we're in good terms of health. So what we're avoiding is really the possibility of a sunrise surprise, which, when it happens, it's terrible. There's nothing you can do. Alright, we're in a bit of trouble. We avoided that trouble for now. We've had pretty good luck avoiding that trouble. That is the end of the fight. I didn't even break a sweat that time. Alright. Well, wonderful. We got it in 3 attempts. Third time really was the charm. So we just gotta make sure we get enough power to make it through safely. Oh, definitely gonna have enough. Alright. Alright, so we need to freeze this next guy. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, it's always that one. Okay. We should be in the woods soon enough. Alright. Okay. That was a bit scary. But since we made it past that realm, we are looking a lot safer. I'm dead. I've never had that happen to me before. Okay. Oh man. I am not happy about that. I thought we were safe for sure. Third death. Oh, great. Now we're gonna have to go through a second one against good old Fantoon. I'm not a fan of that already. So we're gonna have to count our blessings and hope for the best. Knowing how to navigate through the fight in all the phases is really important, and I happen to have quite a bit of a handle on that. That was fast. So I got it a second time. That really helps my confidence quite a bit in the long run. Alright. Let's not mess this up. Got 2.5 energy tanks to get this right. I should be in the clear now. Now that I got the various suit, and I got quite a bit of ample energy, I highly doubt I'm gonna die this time. But let's not get too excited. That's what I was looking for last time. just need to make sure that I make it. Beautiful. Alright, we're out. The worst of it is over. So now that we're done with that, we're gonna head over to Norfair. It's gonna take a bit of time to get to said Norfair. And we can't get too distracted. Alright. Well, we need to save. Otherwise, you know. And I'm also going to look at the map a little bit more often, so if I don't respond to chat, don't be surprised. So this is going to be a first foray into the Norfair area. Unfortunately, we're going to get some pretty free refills. And just like that, our weapons are... We're fully restocked for the most part. And now you get to see how complicated the rest of this area is. Conveniently, there's a missile located right there. So we're just gonna grab that. This is our introduction to Norfair. This room right here is the very reason that you would need to obtain the various suit. Otherwise, you're just straight up in trouble. Oh, that's right. I didn't move through it. It's like, why am I still here? Okay. So now that we're here, we need to get over there. Okay, I got very unfortunate luck. Mostly just at the fact that I forgot one very simple thing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to reset because I kind of forgot one very important item that is gonna help me with the next couple of messes. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do some very minor backtracking. Shouldn't be a problem. We'll get some missiles along the way to alleviate the trouble. And we'll want a reserve tank to work with in case things go awry. Alright, so now we're up there. And it was so far removed, and somehow I still forgot about that. I don't know how, out of all the items, I forgot about that one. Kind of an important item to have, especially for Crocomire, which, yeah. If you know about this game, it's coming up real soon. So now that we're done doing all that funny little backtracking, that wasn't useful, but it looked cool. Alright, so now our work is done here. Alright. Now that backtracking is all done, we can finally get back to business, which is in Norfair. So, we need to make a tough choice, and that first choice is going to be, of course, to obtain power bombs. Alright. We got the majority of our gear. Through that, no problem. So we're gonna go back to the twin pirate mini pirates, and now we will have a significantly better time taking out the boss. Alright. Oh, we're in business now, for sure. So now we're gonna go back to where we were before. Thankfully, it doesn't take terribly long to get there. Alright, time for the mini-boss. So yeah, 2 Buccaneers. Very fortunately, we got through it in the nick of time. And there's an elevator that leads us all the way back up. So that's fun. So the next room has a bit of a theme of not being able to collect everything. So you can, if you're like able to break the game, can get 100% ideally, but optimally you can only get 99, and 99% is unfortunate. So the game gives us 2 options. We're gonna go through the bottom option and pick up power bombs. So that super missile up there is now gonna be gone. We won't be able to collect it, so our journey here is done. And we won't need to go back there. So yeah, this is a bit annoying, but now that we're done with that area, we just need to get past these pirates yet again. Fortunately, we don't need to deal with them again for a little while. Now we got power bombs too, which is very nice. We do like those. That means later down the road we'll fight Crocomire next. We barely did not get hit, which is a good thing. We can take a few hits here and there. And so now that we are done with that area, we're going to go all the way back up. So yeah, the many common themes of this game is going to be, if you think you're not backtracking, think again. That's one of the big themes. And the difficult route is going to be the one you're often going to take. Alright, wonderful. So we're gonna actually meet our second big boss. We fought Fantoon right away, which was not fun, but it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna mean that Crate's gonna be really easy. Getting there, however, is not easy. It's anything but. Alright. So now we're on our way to Brinstar. And like that, we've done a very copious amount of backtracking. Alright, so now back to that dark sector. Alright, so things are gonna get tougher here. You might notice I'm farming again. Because we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Alright, here's our upcoming difficult room. Alright, here we go. Tough room coming up here. So all these flies here, they cannot be destroyed. Otherwise we're gonna see next to nothing. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I gotta be real careful here. It's important to know where you're going. Nice. Alright. We're through. That room takes a lot of patience. That's wonderful. Okay. And just like that, we got our hands on the high jump boots. And it's a wonderful thing to have, because now we're going to have to travel up. Alright. That should be enough energy to carry us through the next part. Alright, so that's like maybe a couple damage there. So things are going to start to look a little recognizable. So yeah, there's a missile there. But also, if you shoot down, you'll be asking yourself the question, okay, am I going insane? Why is there an energy tank there? Yes, I have the same question. I'm sure y'all are wondering that too. Like, why would they do that? Couldn't tell you why. So now we're through that area. You might notice, oh, hey, that looks very familiar. It's because it's modeled off the original design of the original area from the vanilla Super Metroid of the Red Depths. But now, it's entirely colored black and it's pastel colored, which is so interesting to me. And it's a really cool design choice, at least as far as this hack goes. So you might notice I'm up here. So yeah, you might notice it took me forever to find where it was. They reward me for all my patience with a save point, which is a very nice thing to provide. And they certainly didn't have to do that at all. There we go. This room's tricky, but not in the way that usual rooms are. There we go. I guess there's not too much to see here. Let's just go up and fight Kraid, because it took me forever to get up there. So it's just going to guide me all the way up here, and suddenly... And all of a sudden, here we are, fighting Kraid. That's quite interesting, isn't it? This fight's not difficult. It's rather easy and shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Yeah, easy fight. Very easy fight. And we get super missiles for all that, which is a very neat reward. And underneath it is a crumble block that we get to ride upon. So we have to get around. And for our rewards, we also get the wave beam, which is pretty important for the next couple of areas. So now we can say goodbye to that area for good. So, once again, we will not be returning to Upper Brinstar for a little bit. But it's not going to be for the reasons that we originally returned. In the meantime, it's time to head back to Norfair. Wait, why did I waste my time doing that? I could just go all the way back down the other way. Since I have the wave beam. going to cross to the wreck ship yet again for the millionth time. So everything that was a chore last time is no longer as much of a chore to get through. So now we got super missiles, which means we can go the other way. Which is going to be the way in which we are able to find some more key weapons. And most importantly, get our hands on the next major weapon, which is going to be a very important weapon we haven't been able to get yet. Alright, wonderful. Yeah, so there's an interesting little room here that allows me to and we'll just collect a little bit of that. Okay, and this room requires some fast oh, not quite yet. We're not there. Oh, I know why we need spring ball. Okay. Oh, it's a darn shame I missed that. Like I did. beautiful. So yeah, bomb jumping does replace the sort of like need to. Alright, so now we're gonna have to be really careful in this next part. We're gonna need those two. Things are gonna be a bit testy for this next part. Here we go, time to fight Crocomeyer. Good friend Croc. Gotta love him. He's always here to have a good time. Poor Crocomeyer just wanted to have fun, but we're not that way. Alright, so now that we're done with that, good. Now we got the spring ball, which is a great thing to have. Wonderful. That's always a bit of a troublesome one to get to. However, it's not terribly tedious to find. Alright, so now we're going to switch over. And we're out of the woods. That's the first major crazy place. Alright. Line a refuel, but we are gonna be heading to our next place. So we're gonna make sure we move really quickly through this area. There we go. And that's why we got what we got. Spring ball makes it so much easier to move through there. As a matter of fact, it would be nearly impossible to get through there without it. Alright, this is going to be kind of eventful. We gotta hope and really hope that we don't die here. That's going to be the most important thing in all this. Alright, here we go. So now we get the speed booster, which allows us to go fast, and we have to make immediate use of it right away, because the ground's not going to stay still for us. So, you know, hold on tight. Alright. So that's the first one. First door. And, you don't have to... You don't have to hit the doors open. You just kind of have to go through them like this. Alright, that's the second one. We got a third one to go through. Alright, so now we're gonna have to make sure that we do a jump. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to jump in 3, 2, 1, jump. Wonderful, okay. There's our chance to rest up a little bit, catch our breath. Because that's only half the battle. So now we're going to go up several series of slopes in different areas that are going to be a bit tough to get through. And that journey starts now. Alright, so, yeah, I gotta be really quick at this next part. This is where it gets real tough. Okay, so... I think we died here. Just gonna say it right now. Yeah. Unfortunately... Yeah. There's no way we're gonna make it through. That's another death. That's death number 4. That's why we had to take a deep breath, because this is a tough one to get through as well. So, I'll try it again. We're gonna hope for the best, once again. Yeah, we gotta go down this way. Attempt number 2. We'll see how we do. So there's gonna be 3 rooms. Gotta get through those first. Alright, that's part 1. Part 2 continues right now. Alright. Alright. It's looking a lot better now. Unfortunately, we're hardly out of the woods. Alright, so now we're gonna have a really important decision to make. Where do we shine spark? Alright. I think we got it. Yep, we did. So we're back here again. Big surprise, it all leads us back up. Which is a wonderful surprise. So now that we're done with that, we gotta head back briefly to Brinstar. And, but we're not gonna stay there very long this time. We're gonna leave very quickly. We're gonna be on our way as fast as possible to our next big destination, which in this case is gonna be good old Meridia. Yeah, right. So at this very point that we're going to try not to collect any more energy tanks. And they're very good reasons. Going to be simply just because Alright. So we're about to make our entrance into Meridia. Alright. So now we're here. And now we're going to go all the way down under. we're going to need to land a specific jump. And just like that, we did it. Good work, me. That'll help immensely with our next major boss coming up very soon. We gotta go all the way down here. So the tunneling system to get there is extremely complicated, and it can be really convoluted. So you may notice I'm pausing briefly to make sure I'm in the right place, which I am. Indeed I am. So I gotta position myself correctly. I can't take too much damage in this next part. Okay. So there we go. That's that so far. And it's about to get even more complicated. So now we got to go down another sand drift. These are areas that you would think are pretty innocuous and would not contain anything that important. But it is pretty important, actually. Alright. Time for good old fun little shrimp. So we're gonna just enough. So yeah, we needed to use our grappling beam to get the proper amount of energy destroyed and sapped out from him. Alright, and thankfully it won't take terribly long to get the next set of weapons. Alright, so now this is one of the first places where we are giving an extensive choice. And I'm not a fan of choices because that forces me to think. Of course, first off, we're just going to grab that quickly. Also, the Chozo statue's fake, fun fact. is where it's going to get a lot more dangerous. So because we decided to go all the way up, there we go. Gravity suit obtained. Unfortunately, we will never be able to obtain the plasma beam in the original way we were intended to. Which is unfortunate. It's sad, but we did manage to obtain the next best thing. The gravity suit is extremely important. And we'll be able to come back here a little bit later. Which we will need to do at some point. But for now, we're just going to go up this way. And this is a great way to refill. We'll come back a bit later to Meridia, but only for a very brief time, because most of our work is going to be focused on a very risky glitch to pull off. That will hopefully work out, because if it does, we will have a much easier time with the rest of the game. So, I said before that we will not be able to collect the good old plasma beam the way we intended to originally. So we need to be able to do something to, well, collect the darn thing, because, you know, we need to find a way to collect it. So we're gonna save, and there just happens to be a boss nearby, good old Ridley, in the next area that we're gonna go to, called Golden Chorizo. And so we want to pull off a code known as the GT code, or the Golden Chorizo code. And it's gonna do something really cool and kind of surprising in its in a way. Alright, so that's why the category is called GT Classic, because of that. So now we're down here. We are going to amass a big collection of items if we get this the very first time. Wonderful. Alright, so there's going to be a bit of a small moment where we hope that we get what we want, because there's still 2 things that we have to do. Alright, beautiful. We got it right away. That'll help immensely. So now, you notice, bam, we got the plasma beam, we have the space jump, we have an extra 2 energy tanks, although it's not a full extra 2 energy tanks. It's kind of just sort of a bit. Unfortunately, because this fight is not fun to begin with, it takes a long time to finish in this game because the game wanted to give us a challenge. So it takes, like, forever. But since we went through that trouble, we also have Screw Attack, which, you know. Plus we have Space Jump way unnecessarily early. And extra super missiles on top of that. So these next couple of fights are going to be less than a challenge. It's just going to be getting in and out. And of course, before we can fight Ridley, I do want to make sure I have enough. So we're going to do some small amount of backtracking to get to the point where we want to get. Of course. I forgot about that. So that's why you see me going for that. Because energy tanks don't quite work as expected. Alright, there we go. We got somebody in the chat. Welcome. Make yourself at home, my dude. And watch some Metroid Limits. It's a good time. We're almost done with the game, actually. We got one more boss before Mother Brain, one more mini-boss after Mother Brain, and the rest of the escape, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. So we need to stock up just enough. There we go. And this will have us more than prepared and secured for the Ridley fight, because it's a very brutal fight in general. So we're coming over prepared. So a couple of major differences I do have to mention is that in the original series, really you need to only get about 21 hits or 20 hits, depending on how you get each of the hits on Plasma Beam to get the kill. But what we end up opting on doing is deciding to have to get extra energy tanks because Ridley is a tank in this game. Ridley tanks so much energy, and so we're gonna have to make sure we have more than enough to go around. Alright, so we're gonna fight Ridley now. Should be a good time. Alright, here we go. Ridley fight. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. That's the end of that fight. We are finally done with it. So that was a bit extra scary, considering how much we had to fight our way through everything. But now, since it's over, we can go all the way back up and do a bit more backtracking because Torian's going to be brutal. compared to other Turian fights, this is going to be a terrible, terrible fight. Yeah, right. We've got one last set of farms, and that's going to take a bit of some effort. We have enough missiles, we have enough super missiles, but we want just a bit more in terms of energy tanks. So it will not be difficult to get these next two. It's like a matter of a few minutes. So there's one of two. One more to go. The last one's in Meridia. I'm gonna grab one more in Meridia just for good measure. Fortunately, it's not terribly far out of sight. And it's really easy to find. There it is. That's the last one. And so we got everything we need to go into a Turian. Alright, so now we're gonna head back out. And if the need is there, we'll be able to use a crystal flash, I believe. Which hopefully we won't need to, but sometimes that's not a choice we get at the end. Alright, so we're almost done with the game. unfortunately, between the end of the game and now, there is no save point, so we are entirely on our own to make it through all of Torian. So I'm gonna have to focus. I will be mostly just looking at the map and mentally just bracing myself for if there's gonna be a death, and there could be. There could very easily be. We prepared ourselves to not have to face that fate, but that may not be a choice we get. Fortunately, with Spring Ball, we get to move a lot quicker compared to usual. Alright. Well, now we're on our way. And just like that, we get a bit of a little rest. Gives me enough time to investigate this map a little bit to see what happens. Alright. Well, I get the map all deciphered. Yeah, the escape is going to be the place where I need to focus the most. Although this is still going to be important too. All of Torian's going to be very, very rough. So we're going to go up this really cool looking elevator, and I think this is a cool imagery. We're about to enter the most cursed realm, which is Sky Torian, and Sky Torian is just pure evil. Alright, here we go. Torian time. Immediately, right from the get-go. This game has a lot of things. Also, yeah, power-ups are small. And that may not seem like a big deal at first, but it is a really big deal. You might notice these strange colors of these other guys. And they cannot be destroyed. Alright, so now we're done with that. But we are hardly out of the gate. We are going to have to navigate our way through one of the most terrifying parts of the game, which is destructive things like this. Alright, so we're going to have to hope for the best. We're going to have to really hope for the best here. So yeah, it just took away a bunch of my energy. We are not even out of the woods. Yeah. First F in Turian. It's a really rough area. I wasn't expecting the sub 3 on this run, but I've been doing really well up to this point. So yeah, those particles you just saw deal buttloads of damage to me. Cannot be killed. They are indestructible. And that's not all. There's way more to this. Alright, so now that we're out of there... Now you can see why I am so very scared of this category. Of this specific area, this last area in the game, because it is a very scary thing to get to the refuel and then to have to go through the next couple of areas, and so we have to concentrate. Alright, time to go up. Alright, here we go. We're off to the races. Alright, tough part again. Alright, this is much more reasonable. I can deal with this. I have plenty more energy to make it all the way through. Alright, I think the worst is over for now. We still need to make sure we don't die at this next part. Alright, good. So for now, we're doing okay. Now there's no turning back. Whatever happens here, happens here. Surprise pirate. Alright, so now we're at Mother Brain. Alright, This will not be the hard part. I'm not even worried right now. The hard part's gonna be afterwards. Alright. The end is hardly nigh. We are far from being finished with this beast of a game. So I just need to keep the jets cool. I just need to memorize how the maps work and where the crumble blocks are. Alright, it's time. It's do or die. Alright, here we go. No time to waste. Alright, now this is a bit of a nightmare to get through. Alright. Cool. We got through that just fine. Beautiful. All right. We got quite a bit of time to work with. 130 is fine. Okay. That's the end of the fight. We're not quite out of the woods yet. Alright. We just need to make sure that we get this speed boost down. I think we got it. It's gonna be awfully close. I think we got it. Alright. That's the end of that. Whew. That's the run. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Super Metroid Limits. Final time for GT Classic was 3:14:59. Overall, pretty solid improvements. Definitely some improvements can still be made for sure. Alright, let's see what the game time was. We had 1 death in Torian, 3 deaths, and another one, so that's 5 overall. 209. So overall, all the things that needed to be improved were pretty drastically improved for the most part. I still had 1 death. I had to do some backtracking here and there, and some of that can be reduced in the next future runs if I decide to re-pursue this. In the meantime, we are reaching the end of our first part of the Summer Games Speedrunning Saga. So, yeah, Metroid Limit is not an easy game. You had to do a lot to prepare for it. I spent 3 days just straight up blind racing, like blind running through it, before I felt confident in tackling that category. So in the meantime, that marks the end. Part 1 is finally over, but we still have 3 more parts of this saga to go through, and it's gonna take place throughout the rest of August and a very small part of September. So, with all that being said, great run. Cannot complain about that at all. Alright, well. Okay. Dear Force of Team Shikamaru. Alright. That's the end of that. Thank you everybody for watching. I think I'm gonna turn things over to another friend of mine who's been doing some really cool speedruns. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure to do runs. I think I'm gonna turn it over to Uncle Slam, who is currently doing runs of The Tourist. So we will do that. Oh, I think he finished. I'm just gonna rate him anyways. To heck with it. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching. That is the end for me. I'm gonna turn it over to Adam. He will guide you through